Alright, cool. Take number 5008. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, my name is Ads. First video on my channel. I'm gonna get this done. Authentic. Title of the video is how to get out of a rut. Now, first things first. I know everyone's attention span is very, very small. So I'm assuming if you do really want to get out of this rut, I just ask you politely to just be present here and now for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, whatever it takes. I feel like I have a few insights which will really help you get out of this place. A little bit of background about me. Not too long ago, I was in a rut myself, smoking weed every day, jerking off all the time. I'm not saying I've stopped doing all of that. I still do that time to time, but I feel like I have a lot more control over my life and I am crafting it in the way I desire, which in essence, I feel like is the point of life. Otherwise, there is no real point of being alive if you're just being pushed around by your environment. I feel like the creative element is what makes us alive. Cool. Speaking about alive, I want to talk about life and death. Why do I want to talk about that? It all ties in together. First things first. Life. I feel like a common consensus in the society is that if something is alive, it is conscious. Now, what does it mean to be conscious? The definition of being conscious is the ability to respond to something. So I think it's pretty obvious that when we see a creature or a being or whatever respond to the environment, we assume that they are alive. For example, if someone was on the ground dead, quote unquote, or unconscious, whatever we did to them, punch them, hit them, spit on them, whatever, they would not be able to respond to their stimuli. Hence, they would be dead. Now, why am I saying all this? Because, like I said, if we are in a rut, that means we're in a habit or pattern of behavior that's become unproductive. So, in order for it to be unproductive, that means that there is a part within us that deems that the activities we're doing are not in alignment with what we really want. That means we are compulsively doing something, also known as unconsciously doing something. So we are, Sadhguru also says this, committing suicide in installments. Now that might be a bit scary to hear, like, oh, what do you mean like we're committing suicide in installments? It essentially means that because we have lost control over our life, we're getting closer and closer to a state of death. Why do I call it death? Because we are no longer in control of our life and we are simply just flowing wherever our environment takes us, which it makes us no different from a rock. If we completely stopped responding to life, we would become nothing different than just a bundle of bones, right? Cool. So that first distinction I want to make is to realize that we have the responsibility towards our life. That doesn't mean we are to blame for our situation or anything like that. It simply means that we have the ability to respond to our life. For example, when we feel sad or when we feel happy or when we feel frustrated, right? We are not the emotion. We feel the emotion. We observe the emotion, right? So simply just making that distinction in our day-to-day life can make a very, very, very big difference, right? For example, probably a lot of you go to the gym or play sport, right? When you're doing bench press, when you're getting to those final reps, like it really, really hurts, there is a part of us which is like, look, it's hurting, time to bail, time to stop. But then there's a part of us which is able to notice the pain and keep pushing through, right? Now, tying into my second point, things like pain, discomfort, displeasure, dis-ease are not bad things per se. It's a very normal, fundamental thing of the human biology. It's the reason we are still alive today. It's part of our evolution in order to keep us alive, self-preservation and whatnot. So the reason I brought that up is step number 2 is stop beating ourselves up. We live in a society where we all live in a box with a phone, and on that phone we have an application or applications where we view other individuals of our species. And the thing is, almost a very small percentile of individuals post the bad things about their lives. So all we see are the positives of other people's lives. Like, for example, how aesthetic they are, how strong they are, how wealthy they are, how many cars they have, how big their house is, how beautiful their spouse or whatever is. And we feel inadequate looking at all these things. It's constant, because that's the only thing that we view. So almost everyone in this generation, or a lot of people, are living in this pattern of lack. Like, oh shit, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have this, I don't have that. And as a result, our body generates the feeling of shame or depression or frustration or anger or resentment or whatever, right? So first step one was realize we have the responsibility towards our life, the ability to respond. And step number two, stop beating ourselves up. Cool. We've also understood that all these bad feelings are actually good feelings. Because a typical pattern we have is beating ourselves up for feeling bad. Oh, I feel shit, man. Why do I feel shit? Like, oh, we keep spiraling in that direction. We feel shit about feeling shit, right? But our body and our physiology and our biology has designed itself in a way that it is doing this for our own benefit, right? So just noticing that it's for our benefit. All these feelings are natural and normal. A lot of the humans around us experience this. It's okay. So stop beating ourselves up. Cool. Step number three. Look, a lot of times when people are in a rut, they feel like they lack a sense of purpose, or maybe they have a purpose and they're not living up to it, right? Regardless, it doesn't matter. If you have the intention of getting yourself out of your rut, I think your purpose should be getting yourself out of the rut. That is your purpose. That is your highest value in the point in time. But a lot of people will be like, oh, but I need to find out my purpose. Like, I need to live up to my purpose. The thing you don't realize is the purpose in your life can change at any moment. For example, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm sorry if I pronounce his name wrong. During his 20s, 30s, whatever, he was heavily into going to the gym, doing all that stuff, modeling, whatever. That was his purpose at that time. Later on in his life, he became a governor. So that just proves that your purpose throughout your life can change. For example, 5 years ago, your purpose might be to be a doctor. Today, your purpose is to be a business owner. It changes, but it doesn't matter. You live towards your purpose in that moment, right? So if you are in a rut, the most important thing to you should be getting out of the rut, right? Regardless if you have a purpose or not. Okay, so once we have established we have the responsibility towards our life, stop beating ourselves up, and that our highest value, our purpose in this moment is to get out of the rut, what do we do next? The next thing is, once we realize that we are actually in control of our life, we make that conscious choice from moving from dead to alive, from unconscious to conscious. We have to implement change. And now this is where everyone gets resistant. Or even me, if I hear someone say this, I'm like, oh shit, hard work. I don't want to do that hard work. Normal feeling, right? But we all know what we have to do, right? So, for example, we know in order to get out of this rut, maybe we need to start small. We need to start drinking a bit more water, right? But for some reason, we're not doing it. Why are we not doing it? Because, like I said, we are in a habit or pattern of behavior that's become unproductive. So, look, so we've noticed that our highest value is getting out of the rut. The next step is drinking water, for example. So what we do is we write down 5 reasons. Start off with 5 reasons as to why drinking water will help you get out of the rut. For example, drinking water will make me more disciplined, hence it will get me out of the rut. Drinking water will allow my mind and brain to operate more efficiently, hence getting me out of the rut. And when we keep listing things, it actually rewires our brains to actually see the benefits of doing something we're initially resistant to, and therefore making us more willing to do it. So that's essentially my model on how to get out of a rut. Look, it's not going to make you super successful. It might, super success and success in general comes from momentum over time, right? So being consistent with the productive habits in your life will lead to success. But this video is titled How to Get Out of a Rut. So all I'm trying to do is inspire you as an individual to get from close to 0 to just 0.01, right? And once you get used to getting to 0.01, that becomes your new baseline. That becomes your habit. And once you're at 0.01, you start progressing to 0.02, 0.03, blah, 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 blah. I drew a little graph to show you how progress and success works. We start off really shit and it exponentially increases over time. Anyways, that is my first video done. I know it wasn't the best, but I had to get something out of the way, get started with my momentum on this YouTube journey. 11 minutes, good number. Anyways, I hope to see you next time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and take care. Bye.